the unwashed and the unshaved. After a long 12-hour day at school, we come down here and we begin doing the glazing. And you, of course, have caught me glazing my bottom. That sounds filthy. But after all, pottery is not always a pretty thing. The stages can be quite ugly, kind of like, I don't know, adolescence. Now, while I'm glazing this, I'm clear coating it, and it looks like I'm painting it white. But in reality, at about 2,300 degrees, this lovely thing had better not be white. That would be very bad. Let me double check that. Hold on. Oh, okay, it says zinc-free clear. It's all good. It's all good. Now, I've been getting a lot of questions online about the, when is you going to have stuff on Etsy? And, when is the pottery going to be done? And my favorite is, can you do this? Okay, let me explain something as lovingly as I can. Now, for you old ones who've been following me for ages, I used to say to everybody, yep, it takes 3 weeks from the time I throw it to the time you buy it. Yes, that was true then. Because I had a cast of 6 people glazing their brains out for, I don't know, Friday night, Saturday night into Sunday into Sunday afternoon when we were all begging and crying and, yeah. But it was fun. I really do miss them. I do. But outside of the glaze party we had last, which you of course already saw posted, it was a good time and made some great headway. But I'm one person, and it's the closing of the school, which you need to understand. I only have, let's see, the rest of this week. Next week is half days, which of course half days for the kids, full days of tearing out my hair. No jokes. Trying to get all the grades done. I do have hair. Just not follically. Anyway, the point is this. I come home, beat like I am now, and I begin glazing. And I'll push myself to like, I don't know, 10 o'clock sometimes. Now, I have to tell you, I'll be totally honest, there are occasions I accidentally get home, I'm changing my clothes into my glazing clothes, and I have to trip and fall directly into my bed. Okay, for maybe an hour. Okay, maybe an hour and a half. All right, okay. Occasionally 2 hours, but never more than 2 hours. Never. Except last Thursday. And that wasn't my fault. I ate food before sleeping, and you never should do that, because that slips me from, I don't know, coma mode into just above death mode. The point is, I do as much glazing as I can, right? And it's a slow process, because as you can see here, you can see here, I don't just do the, let's pour glaze in a 55-gallon drum and just dip the crap. We don't do that here. For any cup. We never have, we never will. So you're going to bloody well need to be patient. I love you dearly, I do. And I'm trying to generate this stuff. And for those of you asking for custom work, alright, I love you guys. And I love doing custom. Nothing makes me happier than having a person say, oh my god, I freaking love that. It's exactly what I want. And that thrills me. But you also need to know I'm still one human being. And, for the most part, human. And, when I do a lot of custom, I don't get stock built. And if I don't get stock built, we've already rented the rooms for Wicked, by the way. Already done that. All we're waiting for now is the word from on high. And to get our permission to be there. And it's going to look bloody embarrassing if I get there and I've got 3 cups and maybe, I'll have like maybe 25, 30 shots. Then what are you going to do to me? You're going to string me up on my nostril hair. You're going to be like, Wolf, where's the stock? I agree. Come the 2nd week of June, 3rd week of June, 4th week of June, I will be doing pottery non-bloody stop. Because I got a place to myself and I'm just going to go nuts. Probably quite literally, if you start tuning into those videos, I think they're going to get more interesting than even these videos. And I think I should probably be sitting down at the time, because obviously it's summertime, no one's home, and, we know, yeah, it happens to most men. It's a fact. And you really don't want to see that. Although I have been used as a diet aid. All I've got to do is put on my nice little bathing suit, flash a couple ways, and none of you ever want to eat again. It's a wondrous thing. Not as good as, Richard Simmons, but it's almost as effective. I just can't prance and giggle like that, and prancing was never part of my forte. Anywho, so that really does explain, I'm not putting people off, at least I'm trying not to. I swear I am. I'm trying to get everything done for everybody as quick as we can. And of course, my son's epic cup, I couldn't believe he had printed online, and he won't be doing some epics anytime soon, and it kind of made it sound like he doesn't feel like doing it for you, but he'll do it for me. But that's not really it. I think what my son was trying to say, without, I don't know, putting his boot to the throat, but he is a pirate, they do that, is that this piece alone, yeah, it's over 12 hours of work. And I could have done probably 3 regular human cups by then. And when he talked about the ounces and stuff, I don't know what it's going to be. We get a little shrinkage in the kiln. That sounds filthy. And it was not going to shrink that much, but there will be some shrinkage going on. But I will tell you this. Do you see this pint of glaze? It's a pint, a full metric pint. I poured that pint into this cup to line the inside. It came to here. So you do the math. I'm not kidding. That's not an exaggeration. It came to here, a full pint. So if I do the math, I'm looking at like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe elongate 8, almost 9 pints. That's over a 6-pack, people. I think it needs to come with wheels. I really do. It's just, no. And Wade, if you say I gotta start over again and make a bigger one, wait till I see you next. I got a bigger one for you. Meanwhile, the other cups. I am going to be throwing my regular size ones. These were the smaller ones. Well, except for this, obviously. And the Wicked Teapot, which I can't wait for you to see. Oh, she's a stormy little creature. I'm hoping you're going to like it. And I am going to start the bidding at 500. And I am saying bidding, and here's why. Because of you. That's you, my viewers. I've already gotten 4 of you going, I want the teapot. Give me the teapot, and no one gets hurt. And I also had an interesting question. One of them asked me, do you put it on the stove, or do you just pour boiling water? And I had to correct them. And this goes for everybody who's watching this. A teapot and a tea kettle are 2 very different things. A tea kettle, you put on a burner and boil water in. A teapot, its main purpose is to brew said tea, because you never boil tea. You come out with this brownish, brackish, urine-flavored ichor. You don't want that. Although, and I did not post this, but it's true, and you can ask my pack, they were there. I had a young lady come in. God love her. I'll leave her name out of it. You know who you are if you're still watching. And if you don't and you know who she is, go harass her. She came to me and asked me, she goes, I really like the teapot dragon that I got. But my only complaint is it takes an awful long time to get on the boil. And I went, I beg your pardon? She goes, on the boil. I put it on, I have a gas stove, and it takes like a half an hour to boil the water. And I'm going, You really didn't put my teapot on the burner, did you? She goes, yeah, like 4 or 5 times. It just takes forever to boil. And I went, and she's okay. She didn't blow up. Well, no, of course not. Of course not. So I had to lovingly sit her down and as gently as I just did to you, explain to her that I don't make tea kettles. No potter makes tea kettles. We make tea pots, and that's to seep the lovely, delicious of tea out of your leaves, not the brutal, vicious boiling. So the bottom line is, one of my creations, my teapots, actually survived sitting on a gas-lit burner enough to boil water, not once, but 3 times. I also told her that her guardian angel is probably taking medication right now to recover from that. Because you see, if you do that with pottery, it tends to explode. Especially when she told me she put the lid on to keep the steam in, because it made a lovely breathing steam, just like I told her it would. I was like, No, 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 no. So, from here on out, anybody who buys my teapots and things, you pour boiling water in and they breathe smoke. Don't, please, God, do not put them directly on a burner. With that said, back to the bidding part. I honestly, I just was going to do the whole Etsy thing and say, hey, first come, first serve, whoever gets it. But what we're going to do is an experiment. And this is primarily my pirate son's idea because, well, he's a pirate. And I don't want to be a pirate. No, 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 no. I do not want to be a pirate. But he said, it's not really fair. What if someone isn't online and they really wanted it and they would have been first, except they were at work. And the person who got it works a different shift and they got there first when you posted. And I said, well, them's the breaks. And he says, Dad, that's not how you work. I said, well, what's your idea? He says, well, everybody checks Facebook at least once, right? I said, well, usually once a day, I hear from most of you. He says, well, put the bidding on. Except make it a personal message. Don't have them post their bid. Personally, tag me, as in like instant message, and say, here's my bid for the pot. Here's my bid for the pot. Here's what I want for the dragon. He says it makes it fair to everybody else. Because A, they're not bidding against each other. Because I never want that to happen. If you miss out on this one, I will make more. Yes, they're a pain in the buttocks. Yes, they ate almost 4 days worth of my life. But it needed to be done. If you don't get this teapot, there will be others. But he said, and I had to agree, he says it gives those the opportunity who really want it, who were at Wicked, or they just have a real feel for her glaze. It gives them the opportunity to make their voice heard. And it doesn't let anybody else kind of skirt them out who has quote-unquote more money or otherwise. It's more of a bid on it. And the highest bidder, and I will have my mate, who is, trust me, a far, far more honest human than I will ever attain to be, judge the callings. And they will look for the highest bid, and we will announce who wants her. Right? And if that bid, it'll never go below 500 though. I'm telling you right now, I'm not parting with her for her. I absolutely love her. And I'm really hoping that she survives the fire. So, we don't want to be dragging you too long on this video. But you'll notice that I can't look up and do this at the same time, and I'll tell you why. Right now, almost all of my pack members who've helped me glaze right now are cringing. Because they watch me do this all the time. I've had a couple of my glazers try to do the clear coat. You need to understand something about what I'm doing here. Clear coat is a zinc-free clear glaze. It's basically minerals suspended in water, like old glaze, except for one little problem. It's the most temperamental little sucker you ever met. You see, if you don't get thick enough, it gets really tacky, and then when you fire it, it doesn't come out like glass. You don't get shine, okay? I want this to shine like glass. If you go too thick, and when I say too thick, I mean, you see the thickness of the hair on those brushes? If it gets more than one layer in one spot, it'll fog. And if you put it really thick, it becomes opaque, bubbly white. Yeah, and you lose all the detail that I spent hours and hours and hours of tugging at my beard. Now, my son said I cursed him. Yeah, I noticed he printed that. I have never cursed my son. I've cursed Oni, but I've never cursed my son. What I did basically was kind of frustrated because this piece is literally as much work as a teapot. And he has waited, oh God, 2 years for this. And I have, according to him, 5 years. He never was good with numbers, ladies. He's been saying that is 9. So anywho, bottom line. I know, centimeter, centimeter, centimeter. So here's what we're doing. What we're going to do is I'm going to finish this as best as I can with all the detail. And when it gets out of the kiln, we will get you lots of pictures. I'm sure you're kidding me. My son is going to post this from here to, like, Tahiti. And if, by the way, you do desire an epic mug, because I never make the same one twice, but I do all kinds of really dark paintings and things, here's the dealio. I will be doing them, and I have to do them in batches. This one was an exception, and it displaced 4 mugs in the kiln. Normally, when I do epics, I'm able to fire 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 epics, plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 shots. The reason is this: you have to have enough things in the kiln so when the heat rises, it swirls around and melts the glaze correctly, and then when it cools down correctly, otherwise you crack stuff. So, I'm going to bid you all a fair and good night, and hopefully you'll stay tuned. Looking forward to seeing you again. You be well.